Go.
Brian Solomon again, back with you from the Vault of Horror, and this time I'm joined by Chris Allo.
How's it going?
Chris is one of the co-organizers of the Hudson Horror Show, so he's basically one half of what made all of this happen today. And so first of all, I'd just like to thank you for making this possible.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for you guys for all your support. It's been great.
This has been a long time coming. This is what, the second one?
Second show, yeah.
So how did this get started? Tell us a little bit about how it got started.
Briefly, Ted and I have been longtime horror fans and friends for forever and ever. And, growing up, we all saw lots of movies in the theater and then eventually home video. But, certain movies we just never saw, had the big screen experience. We had gone through a couple screenings, retro screenings of older films, specifically exhumed films of Philadelphia. I went to a couple of their shows and was absolutely blown away. Tad and I started talking. He works for Grindhouse Releasing, who of course are huge on distributing prints of older films again back in theaters. And we started talking, and my girlfriend Denise was like, you should really do your own show. Because I've gone to lots of other shows, the guys make some other ones. Talked to Tad, got the idea going, and we probably planned the first show. I think it took years worth of planning for show number one. Because we wanted to have everything, taken care of, and it was a huge success. And so now we're on show number 2.
And this is the first time you've got kind of a whole bill of feature-length films, correct?
Well, the first show we did 2 hours of DVD shorts from local, I shouldn't say local, from indie filmmakers. And then we did Night of the Living Dead Reanimated, which was, full length, but that was from DVD projection. But then we did do 3 full-length features off 35mm. We did Zombie, Pieces, and Evil Dead 1.
Nice.
So that was the first show.
So actually, I just want to touch on that really quick.
Sure.
You mentioned 35mm versus DVD projection.
Yep.
We said a little bit about this before, but one of the things that sets this thing apart is that you're dedicated to strictly showing the actual films, the actual 35mm print, not just taking what people can watch in their own home and projecting it on a big screen. Right?
Absolutely. Just like the Avon and Stanford, we are, absolutely, to me, if we're going to show it, it's got to be 35mm because that's the way it was shown in the theater. We're showing Cannibal Ferox right now, and the guys behind the counter were reminiscing of how they saw it in Times Square on 42nd Street in the mid '80s, and this is a print. It's presented exactly the way they saw it back then. For us, Ted and myself, that is the thing. It's gotta be the way it was presented.
Right.
If we can't get something off 35mm film, there are plenty of theaters, legitimate theaters out there that will say, we'll run a DVD. And our feeling is, well, if we can't get it off 35mm, then let's get a different film.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I've been to, these revival shows. I once saw Casablanca on a DVD projection. I was very disappointed.
Absolutely. I mean, and I don't see the point. Buy DVDs so cheap now. Yes. Everybody's got Blu-ray players and high-def television and awesome surround sound systems. I don't want to pay.
Of course.
Yeah, so absolutely, that's our thing.
So the other thing I wanted to ask too is it seems like there really is an affinity for Italian horror with both of these. But I mean, even tonight we were just saying, aside from the main feature,
3 of the 5. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, you even had a few choices in the viewer's choice. So
yes.
I mean, you don't have to sell me on it because that's I'm obsessed with it as it is. But what is it about Italian horror?
Ted and I are just huge fans of the Italian horror films. They're just to us, they have they're just the storylines sometimes, as you know,
they don't make sense.
Yeah, sometimes they're a little off, but the visuals are just amazing. And for us, we want to show these movies that were shown in grindhouses and drive-ins, in the 70s and 80s, and a lot of these Italian films really did very well over here. Gates of Hell was a huge hit.
I remember seeing it on video. I remember that and Zombie were 2 of probably the most terrifying VHS boxes on the shelf.
Absolutely.
I would hide, even to just look at them, especially the Zombie one. But
No, that's absolutely. So we're just huge fans, and again, like I was saying earlier, I never had the chance to see any of the movies that we're seeing tonight, in the theater when I was a kid.
Yeah, no, I can't say that I have either. Although maybe Evil Dead 2. But that's sort of like that's the one that brings everybody in,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Is that how it works?
Pretty much, and it's the funniest of the films. And last time Evil Dead was such a huge hit with our crowd, we figured, well, the natural progression would be to get Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
I know Army of Darkness, everyone's going to say we should get that for the third one, but I know that it's kind of hard to get the print for that one, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, because that's kind of the most mainstream one.
Yes,
right?
that's the other thing too. It's really not as bloody, and it's a bigger production, so we'll have to see.
Well, I'll say Gates of Hell is the one I'm definitely looking forward to the most.
Yeah, it's a nice looking print. I mean, of course, they all, as you guys know, they have their blemishes, their scratches, and
That's why we love them.
I was going to say that kind of adds to the charm.
Yes, it definitely does. And really, I mean, the lineup you have here is terrific.
Thanks. We went back and forth. Like when we spoke earlier, it was like, okay, well, how do we pick what we pick? And it's really, a little bit of everything. It's what can we get? What do we think people would like to see?
Right.
And
what can we get? What do we think people would like to see? And what would we like to see?
Yeah,
That was the
I
third,
forgot.
Right? What would you like to see?
Exactly. Yeah, for me, it was definitely Demons.
Yeah, which is the only one I haven't seen out of these.
Oh, you've never seen this? Oh, it's classic Italian. I mean, it is so violent and gory. It's unbelievable. And again, it was released unrated in the U.S. in theaters. It's got a great soundtrack. Motley Crue, Accept, Saxon, Billy Idol. And I watched it the other night here, and I actually forgot how violent and gory it really is. I mean, it might be gorier and more violent than Evil Dead 2.
And it takes place inside a movie theater, which makes it even crazier to watch.
Absolutely.
Inside a movie theater. You see how that works?
Absolutely, yeah. That was again the great thing about showing it in a theater.
Yeah. Well, again, thanks. And,
No problem. Thank you.
really,
Thanks so much for all your help
You've
and your
done
support.
a great thing here for fans, and hopefully there'll be a third one
Yeah,
coming up soon,
hopefully
right?
just watch the website, www.hudsonhorror.com, Facebook us, email us at info@hudsonhorror.com, and we'll just keep in touch, because we absolutely, so far so good, everything looks good, like we'll probably do another one next year sometime.
And I'm sure we'll be talking about it too at the Vault of Horror and
Absolutely.
at Corella's
Thanks for your
Facebook
support. Yep.
page and everywhere else doing what we do. So it's a pleasure, Chris.
Absolutely, thanks
so
again,
much.
and thanks so much for your help.
Our pleasure.
Awesome.